Y'all doing good? Fired up on this Sunday afternoon? What a weekend. And there's absolutely no way that I could begin without giving thanks. And those thanks go to the entire NAA staff. Thank you, everyone. Round of applause. Another huge round of applause for Marc Accetta, his team. What an amazing way to relate business principles to us that make it easy for the common country redneck girl to even understand. And thank you for being here and having your butt in a seat. You're in a seat. We're going to talk a little bit today about, let's thank Andy. My gosh, what a man with a vision. Whoa. Didn't mean to forget him. I might talk about him a little bit throughout, though. We're going to talk a little bit today about who sets the temperature for your business. And some of you may not be old enough, but do you know how to check someone's temperature? So like my mom, her generation could check your temperature by placing their lips on your forehead as a child and say, oh, you have a fever. And then after years of common medicine or whatever, there's this thing that was developed called a thermometer. And back in the day, you got a piece of glass with a mercury center in it, and it had readings, and you put the thermometer under your tongue, and it could check your temperature. There's also another place you could put that thermometer. And that place is where some of you, like Andy says, need a flame about this high. So you'll get off of it and do something with it. So some of you can check your temperature that way. And then, of course, new technology, you can rub this thing across your forehead or whatever, however you want to check your temperature. Good news, bad news, like Mark said, get to choose how you check your temperature. As you well know, my science background, I definitely know that things boil at 212 degrees. I taught math and science, 8th grade for 7 years. These little kindergarten children up here and these dwarfs, I was having so many flashbacks. I thought I was going to be like Mark and need some bourbon. I got over it real quick. Me and God had a word. We won't be going back there. But most of you know that something boils at 212 degrees. Something freezes at 32, a normal body temperature is 98.6, and then you see a blank thermometer. And that's what some of you are. You don't even register. You're either cold as ice, hot as fire, or you're totally mediocre, and your RBF shows it constantly. Y'all know what RBF is, right? Resting baby face, but not baby. So I'm going to talk a little bit first to the men about how you set the temperature. Biblically, I do believe, that's my choice. If you don't believe like I believe, you can put your earplugs in, walk out, go to the bathroom. I don't care what you do. But biblically, the Bible says the man should lead his life. And then I have men come up to me this weekend and say, I really want you to talk to my wife. And I was like, okay, where is she? Well, she didn't make it. Ooh, my first thought is, are you leading your wife? Did you tell her she needed to be here with you? Better yet, did you tell her you wanted her to be here with you? Because if you're not telling her, maybe she doesn't know. And then the next thing I hear is, I really want you to talk to my wife. She looks up to you, and she just wants to know what she can do to, live like you live. And I'm thinking, does she really want to know? Because do you think she really would clean a toilet to be where I am? Do you really think she wants to give up hours, weeks, months, and years of being with you to be here? Meaning, I gave up and still do tons of time with Andy. Now, granted, some of that time is much needed. But sometimes when he goes, especially in the past, I was not a very happy camper. Not a happy camper. I would bitch, moan, complain. You just went. You just got back. Why you got to go again? They ain't doing nothing. They ain't turned in a single policy. But yet, his determination to keep going and keep sharing has us where we are today. Another thing that men say, it's like, well, can you just tell her what you do to help Andy? And I'm like, I can, but she's not going to want to hear it. What did I do in the early days to help Andy? I did everything I could humanly possible with zero extra money to take care of everything. And I mean everything. I made sure his car was serviced. I made sure the tires were good. If it was there, I made sure it had gas in it because he has a hard time, the E and F meter in the car. He just had, everything else in life, awesome. But the E and the F, he just has a hard time with that. Made sure the car was full of gas. I made sure his clothes were clean. I made sure, one time I forgot his white shirts, and that was not good. We had to go buy some when we didn't have money. So now he does his own clothes. Ladies, that's how you get out of it. You forget something, and then you don't have to do it anymore. But I would make sure his clothes were ready to pack, clean underwear. I took care of the yard. I took care of everything with the children. I took care of the house, even when the septic tank was backing up in the shower and there was shit all in the bathroom running into the bedroom. I took care of that, or I got somebody who was number one in the number two business to come take care of it. So when I say I did everything, I did everything. I would mow our yard by putting Spencer in the playpen, Haley on an ugly front porch at the time, but man, has it changed. With a set of Barbies and a Barbie house, I'd mow 2 or 3 strips, come back, check on Haley I could see Haley on the front porch, but then I'd come back and check on Spencer in the playpen. Then I'd do another round. So when I say I did everything, I did everything. Today, we're fortunate that I don't have to do everything because we have made enough money that I have tremendous help everywhere, including our staff. So men, you're the one who gets to set the temperature of where you are. Are you telling your wife you're working but you're not? Do you go to the basement to make phone calls and binge on Netflix? Are you a couch potato that's not going to miss a single football game or whatever sport you watch, hockey, baseball? Are you that man? Are you the man that's going to allow or let your wife think that it's okay for her to do everything else with her friends and go on extravagant weekends and go on beautiful shopping trips to Louis Vuitton and Gucci stores, but not let her know that you need her beside your side at every single event, not just the ones she wants to go to? Come on, men, lead from the front. You set the temperature. I guarantee you, if you get busy and get off of it and make her checkbook and her checking account look amazing, where she doesn't have to stress about the groceries or having help at home, I guarantee you she probably would become a little more supportive. I think she would. And not that money's everything, it's the choices that it can give to you. Okay, women, as much as we love our men, let's see how you get to choose. Ladies, we know what all we can control. You know how to motivate your man. Pretty sure. On the other hand, ladies, we are the queen of the thermometer. That's right. So that means if your man comes in and you are just not happy, grumpy, you've had a bad day, the kid threw up, the dog ate your last new pair of tennis shoes, and all of that just spits out when he gets home, you've set the temperature and the tone of that home. You can also set the tone or temperature when he's building this business. if you're the one who cries every time he leaves, if you're the one who complains every time you have to go to a meeting, if you're the one who doesn't want to give up things now to have better things later, you are setting the temperature of your business. And I would probably say it's 32 degrees or below. It's very cold. I promise you, if you could just make a couple little tweaks in your attitude, you choose to do things just a little differently, think a little differently, love a little differently, become your husband's biggest cheerleader. And I don't know where this thought came to me this morning, but I just popped up and I thought, oh, that's good. Be the helium to your husband. Do you know what helium does? Helium continuously lifts up. So try to always focus and choose on being the helium to him and not that little straight pin that constantly pops him. Everything in life is a choice. We have been very, very blessed in this business, but I think it's because of the work ethic that Andy has. And when he says he's 24/7, he's 24/7. And I almost start to think if it were to be another day in the week and more hours, he'd be 36/8 or whatever. But I know he's determined, because he's determined that the choices that he's been able to provide for us and our family are choices that he wants for you as well. In summary, there's a story about two wolves, and it's all about choices that you make. So I'm going to wrap up with a story. A young boy came to his grandfather one day. He was filled with anger at another boy who had done him an injustice. The old grandfather said to the grandson, "Let me tell you a story. I too at times have felt a great hate for those that have taken so much, with no sorrow for what they do. But let me tell you, my son, hate will wear you down, and hate does not hurt your enemy. Hate is like taking poison and wishing your enemy would die." I have struggled with these feelings many times myself. It is as there are two wolves inside of me. One wolf is good and does no harm. He lives in harmony and all around him and does not take offense when no offense was intended. He will only fight when it is right to do so and in the right way. But the other wolf is full of anger. The littlest thing will set him into a fit of temper. He fights everyone all the time for no reason. He cannot think because his anger and hate are so great. It is helpless anger because his anger will change nothing. Sometimes it is hard to live with these two wolves inside of me because both of the wolves want to dominate my spirit. The boy looked intently into his grandfather's eyes and asked, "Which wolf will win, grandfather?" The grandfather smiled and said, "The one you feed." Which one are you going to choose to feed? Love you guys.